Citizens, it's that time. You are officially in Alert Zone. Welcome to Alert Zone TV. I'm the Wizard Uncle James. I would love for you guys and girls to become active citizens. You guys and girls already know how to do that. If you're 18 years of age or older and are able to be legally armed, practice your Second Amendment rights. So we're going to get right into it. I am sitting here today. Got to see it. Bear with me. Got to see it. P226 chambered and 357 SIG. Clear for YouTube. Mag is loaded. 357 SIG. 226. And I wanted to talk about. Shout out to you, Rose Ivory, in the comment section. I wanted to talk about kids in America, the youth violence. Because a question was asked to me about American kids and the violence and what's the difference in here and around the world. And I'll tell you this. The biggest reason there's so much youth violence in America is the accessibility to firearms. That's number one. That is the number one reason. Although I'm starting to see, maybe I'll address this in another video. But nevertheless, kids have access to these. That's the number one reason. You have to understand something about America. America was founded on this. Period, point blank. So, and the question about rap music being global, because I talked about video games. It was the video about violent video games inspiring the youth and what have you. And I also say this. Sorry about that, everybody. I also say this. Sometimes you don't teach children that video games and music and things like that is for entertainment purposes. Because there's kids that really live that lifestyle. A lot of other children envy that. I'll give you an example. In the what they call hood, and hood is a euphemism for black folk. Let's just make that clear. That's where that term got popularized. The majority of the kids that's involved in criminal activity, that's going on over their head, where they lay their head at. They're exposed to that firsthand. When you talk about the youth of America, the majority of the youth in this country is not exposed to those dire conditions like that. Now, in the suburbs or in upscale neighborhoods, children learn how to use firearms young. You go out in the country, you go to Louisiana, where I'm from, country folks know how to use guns. Them little country boys, 7, 8, 9 years old, they tell you, I can outshoot you. You're an adult. But the access to firearms in the street, number one. Number two, a big problem that we have here in America is children are followers. They want to do what other children do. So a lot of children don't feel like they're real or respected until they engage in criminal activity, until they engage in violence. Let me say this as somebody that grew up around all that. You talk to the average person that grew up, the average kid that lives in that, and the average kid that grew up in that, and they'll tell you they would give anything to come from quiet areas. That's one thing about the youth and the violence. We focus on the guys and girls that live in real poverty-stricken areas. We don't focus so much on the people outside of that realm and what inspires them. I told you guys and girls, murder-suicide is the number one cause of murder in this country. And it goes on suburban, rural, and small-town America, period, point blank. That is a fact. That's not Uncle James making that up. Children see violence. Children see violence glorified in everything here in America. The difference is they got access to these tools more than any other group probably across the world. In other countries, children that have access to this are usually child soldiers, or maybe they just happen to live in a particular area where basically the drug life, the street life, is all that is available to them. If that answers your question, besides the fact that some parents glorify this and pass this on to the children. So it's a different number of things that can contribute to the youth in America carrying out so much violence, but trend setting is something. So sometimes you have trends that set, and that's how things turn out to be what it turns out to be. So you just have to know, and you have to understand that that's just what it is. I hope this somewhat answered your question. To anybody, the access to firearms is probably the biggest reason that American youth are so violent, because we've gotten away from these, and we've gotten away from these. In this day and age, children fight with these now. They don't fight with these. So hit me in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Until next time, stay safe, stay on high alert.